Hello and welcome, my connoisseurs of movies, TV shows, and literature. You ready to shake things up? You may call me Luke Garou for those of you who have never seen me before. Welcome. Here we feast on my opinion of all things movie, TV, and book. And today we are doing a spoonful of kite flying. And you're looking at your screen going, a spoonful of what now? Well, there are two excellent movies that have a spoonful of sugar and kite flying. And that is what we are focusing on. Julie Andrews and Emily Blunt both play Mary Poppins. And I love them both. But I can hear some of you, Luke Garou, Mary Poppins Returns sucks. She's nothing like Julie Andrews. And the songs make no sense. And Jack is nothing like that. Newsflash, different nannying techniques and different lessons need different environments. And Bert was technically too old, I think Jack said. I don't think he died. I don't think they say he died. I just think he said he was too old to be on such an adventures. So it was only natural that the younger Jack take over to stay with the unaging Mary Poppins. That's another reason why there's Emily Blunt instead of Julie Andrews. Because last I checked, and no offense to Miss Andrews, because she is a good actress, she doesn't look like she's in her prime anymore. She looks like a wise matron, which not many people can pull off. She looks very well for her age. Now, Jack, if you're watching and paying attention, displays more active magic than Bert ever did. He's the one that opens the portals more often than Mary does. That's another reason why I like this, because she's there, she's helping, but she's not afraid to let Jack show off his powers too. And no offense to poor Bert, I don't think I could see him walking up that ladder of books without it falling over, even if he was nimble enough to dance on rooftops. Now, to start with, why are they different? Why do I say different nannying techniques need different things? Well, we're going to start by looking at the clients. Mary Poppins was hired to look after Jane and Michael Banks, who had their heads so far in the clouds, they had no concept of what an adult actually does. And my mic keeps bumping into my chin. It was like bumping right here. It was annoying. So they were constantly bored and seeking attention by driving away all their other nannies. And Daddy, being a workaholic, needed to learn how to have fun. So did Mommy, because she was also a workaholic, even if she didn't have a job. Now, and Mary Poppins Returns, she has to help Jane and Michael Banks. However, it's upside down. She also has to help Michael's children, Annabelle, John, and Georgie. Now, Michael is a widower. You learn that first off. His wife is dead, and his children are so adult that Annabelle and John don't know how to be kids. They are mini snap to toe the line adults. Now, Georgie, he is still young enough to actually want to play and use his imagination, and he's the one that flies the kite that brings Mary Poppins to them. So Jack has to rescue him and help pull her to the ground. Now, fundamentally, both families need to learn how to live and get along in society, but also to love and take care of each other despite whatever hardships might come up. But learn responsibility is different than learn to be a kid. So learn to be responsible techniques are not going to work on the overly adult children. So that is why I like them. It shows that a great nanny helps multiple people in different ways. Besides, for the era, burlesque songs were very, very, very popular. So even though it might not have been the most appropriate, it was one of the best ways to get the kids laughing and just being kids, because they weren't seeing any of the more adult aspects of the dancing. They just saw happy, bouncy songs. But theirs also had more poignant songs, like Where the Lost Things Go, because that's how she helped them cope with the loss of their mother. And Mary, in this one, was just trying to get Jane and Michael to look at the world around them more, hence feed the birds. She was telling them, look around the city. Do you see what you can see? Now, Bert and Jack are fantastic. I like them both. They both have their merits. In Mary Poppins, Bert spends a lot of his time acting like a suitor, while Jack, he sees her as a friend, as a mentor, as a guide. He has no feelings for her outside of, hey, you're a good friend, you knew Bert. Which has led to my theory and my best friend's theory. And my theory goes along with a theory out there that Mary and Bert were a forbidden couple. Now, I take that they were a forbidden couple and go one further. Mary, at some point, had Jack, weaned him, raised him a little bit, but knew because he was too much like his dad, gave him to Bert and said, raise him and tell him about me, but don't tell him I'm his mom. He must never know because he cannot come back to where I live. For his safety, he must not know we are related. Now, my best friend thinks that Jack is more of a nephew to Bert, and he was just raised to always and ever see Mary as Bert's friend. No romance, no nothing, because Jack really doesn't give off a, oh God, you abandoned me, how could you, vibe whenever he's with Mary. Which works if he's just a nephew who's only ever heard about her and heard stories about her as he was growing up. But it also works if Bert never said, oh yeah, she's your mom. That self-camera lady. For those of you who are new, don't worry, my camera lady and I are good friends, so we play off each other a lot. I'm not doing it maliciously, and neither is she. Now, the villains, or the antagonists of the two stories, are also different. Because in this one, there really isn't a true villain. There isn't a real big bad. Granted, you could make the argument that the greedy corporate banker owner and his people are the bad guys. They're the ones driving Mr. Banks to distraction. But their only issue is that they lost sight of what was important. They weren't actively trying to hurt the family. They weren't actively trying to hurt their people. They were just greedy old men. And it kind of proves that in this one, the real antagonist is the neglectful oversight of that which is the most important thing, which is your family and your loved ones. Granted, if your family is beating you up, do not stay with them if you can help it. Families should stick together, but if one member is mercilessly hurting the rest, it's best if you get them out of your life. Now, in this one, there is a definite villain. He is the nephew of the original bank owner. He's played by Colin Firth. And boy, is he a villain, because his level of greed goes beyond, we are just going to be the best bankers we can to make the most money. Oh no, his was, I'm going to foreclose and steal people's homes for no other reason than I can make more money by doing something else on their land. That is evil. That is cruel. Stealing people's homes just so you can build something that's not very practical. That's what Colin was doing. But he gets schooled. He gets schooled very nicely at the end. But they all learn the lessons they need to learn. Now, as for side characters, not being the same as they were in the first movie, or worse, not played by the same people, okay, please get over yourselves. Actors die and need to be replaced, as was the case with Admiral Boom. Or worse, the actor died and no one could fill their shoes, like in the case of the uncle, played by Ed Wynn. Hence, new people come into play to help where they are needed. Besides, are you going to tell me that children who couldn't believe a kite could pick up and carry their little brother away until they saw it with their own eyes was going to enjoy a tea party on the ceiling? No. Annabelle and John water bottle. Somebody's drinking a water bottle. But yeah, Annabelle and John would have spent the whole time at the uncle's house going, that is impossible. How did you do that? They would have stayed firmly on the ground. Georgie would have gone up to the ceiling in a heartbeat because, like I said, he was younger. He was still a kid. But not his siblings. No way. Hence, why, instead of bringing them to something they would not be able to comprehend, Mary brought them to a cousin who literally taught them to change their perspective. That just because you're looking like this doesn't mean your world can't be like that. When you watch and see what the children and the families need, both women do their job. Both actresses do their job. Both versions of Mary do what is needed to best serve the needs of their family. So not liking it because it's not a carbon copy of the first one, it's just cruel. That's like telling every talented person in the movie they wasted their time. The directors wasted the money in making it. Or have you not learned that shot-for-shot remakes don't work, especially if they don't add to the overall lore? And this one showed that she has a funner side than just carousel rides that go through the countryside. Or fox hunts. Poor little fox. However, these are my opinions. Do feel free to disagree. But leave me messages in the comments. Have you seen them? Will you watch them back to back? Have you absolutely, hands down, because it's too different, I'm not going to watch Mary Poppins Returns? Is listening to this going to make you change your mind? Are you going to give it a try? Are you going to look at it with fresh eyes if you've already seen it? Like I said, just because you see the world like this doesn't mean it can't be like that. But these are my opinions. Be kind to me. Be kind to each other. Find the like button and tend to whatever injuries or issues it may have acquired from overuse. Find the subscribe button and rescue it from zombies. Find the bell and give it a ring, just so that the zombies go towards the bell so you can run in the other direction. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.